Hi y'all, welcome to another video. So today I'm going to show you how to do the pink under eye look two separate ways, one more casual and one like very much more pink. So I'm just starting with my usual base. So if you're curious about my primer and foundation and everything, I will list what I use down below. I use the same thing in both videos. And then I'm going to start with the Milani pink under eye corrector and my lightest concealer, which is the Incognito concealer from Wetnwild. And a very important part of this is the e.l.f. camo blush in the shade Pinky Promise. So first I'm starting with about a half and half mixture of that pink corrector and this concealer. I want to use the pink corrector instead of a peach one because obviously we're going for pink, and I'm going to mix them half and half to get that pink transformation started. And then I am taking the tiniest dot of this camo blush. These are very pigmented, so for the less intense pink under eye, you're going to want to take a very small dot, and I just mix that in as I'm blending in the concealer, and it's just going to give your under eye concealer this very light shade of pink. You can almost barely tell in my vanity lighting. At the end, when I'm in natural lighting, you can definitely tell more. But again, this is like the more toned down version of the pink under eye. So we don't want to go too crazy. I will show you a little bit more intense later on in the video. So I'm just mixing that in. And then once that is all good to go and nice and blended in, I'm going to go in with any of my other cream steps. For this less intense look, I would just go for any neutral pink normal blush, like nothing too pigmented. I love all of these: Ulta, Dibs, Milani, Natasha, Denona. In the video that was actually like requested that I show this pink under eye, I used this blush from my Natasha Denona Glam Face palette in the light to medium shade. So that's what I'm going to use today because I'm just recreating the look that y'all requested from my YouTube shorts, and I also posted it on TikTok. If you want to follow me over there, I post like almost every day my makeup looks and little get ready with me's. But anyway, so I'm just going to put this in my normal blush placement. I already put my blush like pretty high up on the cheek, and I kind of blend it towards the apples of the cheeks. So it just kind of naturally goes into that under eye for me and my face shape and where I like my blush, but just blend it however you see fit, however you like your blush on your face shape. And then for the under eye, this is super important too. I set the under eye, I bake it with a pink brightening powder. I'm using the Morphe one, but you can use any one that you like. I see a lot of people use the Huda one as well. And then I'm going to take my lightest pink blush, which happens to be in this Dream Team palette from Physicians Formula, and I will use that to dust away that bake. It kind of just intensifies the pink color a little bit, but it also just dusts away that bake with pink instead of a skin tone, because if you use a skin tone powder, it basically would take away a lot of that pink, and you want to keep the pink. That's the whole point. So I'm using my lightest blush, and then I'm just going in with the bronzers and stuff from that palette. Just my normal bronzing steps. I always do like dusting off my under eye, and then I do bronzer, highlight, blush, in that order for powder steps. So just do your normal steps. I go ahead and use a really pink highlighter. In that video that y'all were requesting, I was using this Becca highlighter that is really pink, but it's discontinued. So you could just use Stila Kitten. I'm going to use Stila Kitten in this video because you can actually still get that. Really good. You can get it at Ulta. I love Stila. Nobody talks about them anymore, I feel like, but their products are really good and cruelty-free, of course. Everything I use is cruelty-free, by the way. All the makeup and hair stuff that I use, I do my best to only use cruelty-free. So you can absolutely leave the look like this, but I am a blush girly. So I'm going to add that little bit of a darker blush just towards like the back of my face and have the blush be a little bit more intense back there. That's just what I prefer. But again, do this as you already, like on your face. I'm just kind of showing you how I do it and how I like to blend that pink under eye into my everyday look. Every day I like a lot of blush. So Yeah, so I'm just gonna use that darker pink blush from that same Physicians Formula palette and just pop that towards the back of the face. And then another, what I think is like a super important step, is to take a really, really light eyeshadow or face powder. I'm taking the face powder from this Physicians Formula palette, but I'm pulling mostly from that white shade that's in there. You can also use a white eyeshadow. And just in this very inner corner, I like to brighten that up quite a bit. I just think it makes it look, I don't want to say more natural, but it kind of does just make it look more natural, more blended. And just, I don't know, it gives it a little something extra, especially because that pink under eye is definitely good for like brightening. It brightens your whole face and makes you look less tired. So having that extra pop of white in there also really helps. So this is that in natural lighting. As you can see, it just looks like a little bit more on the natural side, but if you look for a little bit longer, you can still tell that under eye is a little bit pink. Now I'm going to show you how I do it a little bit more intense, and a lot of it starts out the same. So I'm starting out with that same base and the same pink corrector and concealer, but this time I am going to place the blush, that Pinky Promise blush, a little bit differently. So I'm basically just going to do my concealer with that pink corrector like I normally would. I blend it out immediately. And then after that's blended out, I'm going to use that Pinky Promise camo blush. I mean, of course, you can use any pink blush that's pretty pigmented that you like. Just make sure it's a nice neutralish pink that you like on your skin tone. That's pretty bright. I mean, this is a pretty bright blush type of look. So I'm going to place this where I would normally place my blush and blend it out like 75% of the way. So most of the intensity is where I would typically place my blush on my face, which is right here. Then once I have it like 75 to 80% blended out, I just take whatever is on that brush and just pop it right under the eye. This is definitely more of an intense pink under eye, but I honestly love it. I love to do this, especially on the days where I'm really, really tired. I feel like it just camouflages dark circles and like tired looking skin like no other. So I just put that right where I normally would, doing the same thing on the other side. And the other good thing about this too is if you're trying this out for the first time and it's too intense, just take your beauty blender or whatever brush you used for your concealer and just tap it right back over where your concealer is and try to, like, you know, just dampen it down a little bit. If you get a little bit heavy-handed, it's fine. Just tap, tap, tap over it with your concealer brush or your beauty blender and it'll be fine. It'll blend really well and still look really nice and pink. Same thing, I'm going to use the pink Morphe loose setting powder, dust it away with the blush. As you can see already, it's definitely more intense than the other video, but that is the point. And then I'm going to use a pink highlighter and still brighten up on that inner corner with a really nice white shade. Again, you can use a super brightening face powder that's really light for you, a white eyeshadow, anything that you want. Just pop it like mostly in that inner corner, and then I just drag it down a little bit into that little socket. It just makes it look more bright and awake and just blended, and like the whole look is cohesive. So that's how it looks before I put on more blush. I always like to show that. But then of course the blush lovers get me. More is more. I pop on that darker blush here as well, and that is that look. Definitely more intense on the pink color on the under eye, but I just love it. I just feel like, dark circles don't even stand a chance, girl. Like, you just look so cute and youthful. Like, I feel like I look like a fairy. Like, she was a fairy. Okay. How cute is that? Okay, and I'm also really feeling my pink hair, so I feel like that kind of helps, but you'll look good with it even if you don't have pink hair like me. So that is how I do the pink under eye look 2 different ways. And thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I'll list the products down below, as well as my other YouTube channel and my Instagram and my TikTok if you want to follow me everywhere. And I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye!